Hey guys, welcome back to the Proxy channel. Today we're going to be explaining how the internet works in baby words. Just before we start, I would like to say that we will be having a new person joining the Proxy channel and uploading videos about viruses, malware, all that stuff. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So, how does the internet work? How are you watching this video, you might ask. So basically, you have your device, this is you, right now, and you have your browser, which you're on, watching this video. Then you have a web server, which would be youtube.com in this case, and a database, which stores everything that's on youtube.com. So, what we have is your device, you'll put in, or your device, your browser more rather, you will have the search bar up here, and you put in something like www.youtube.com, and that's not what I want. And basically, this gets sent to the web server that's assigned this URL, this youtube.com. But first, before I explain how that's sent, I need to explain the URL. So basically all the URL is, so this is youtube.com. What this is it's called a DNS, a domain name server. Or it's not called a domain name server, but this comes from a domain name server. It's basically just turning something from an IP, which I'll explain soon, such as 123.123.123.123, into that, so that it looks a lot nicer and is easier to remember. Now, what's an IP? An IP is just a number, a unique number assigned to every single server, and within that, every computer in the network. So if you were to search my IP, then you'd get your public IP address, and basically if you were to set up a server, then people could connect to it using your IP, your public IP. But first you have to do something called port forwarding. The way I like to explain port forwarding is you have a series of doors. So just imagine this is a series of doors, and that's your IP, that's your public IP, and this is you. And basically, what happens is to get from here to here, there's basically a wall, as I like to describe it, which you can't connect to unless you port forward. So along this door, along this wall, there's a bunch of doors. Say there's, I think, what is it? Google port. I think it's 81. But anyways, I think the internet port is 81. But so what it tries to do is it tries to open this. Actually, wait. No. You try to open door 81, or you try to access YouTube's port 81, but you can't. So what happens is youtube.com on the internet service provider basically asks them, hey, can you open this door? And then what happens is port 81 is open. And so basically now you can connect to their port 81, and through that, that's not right, through that you can connect to 123.123.123.123, but it's easy to remember youtube.com, so you put in youtube.com, and that's how you connect to servers. But what is a server? Well, basically when you try to connect to a server, what's happening is, if I just draw a line, is something called a request is sent. Hold on, that's messy. What happens is a request is sent. So there's different types of requests, but the main ones are HTTP and HTTPS. What this means is HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is the default method of transferring data, but it's less secure than Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, which is HTTPS. So if I click on this, you can see that it's running on HTTPS, so it's a more secure version and less prone to hackers, and it's a lot quicker. But how does this data get back to you? Well, basically what happens is we get another line. What happens is the web server just sends back a file that was requested. So say if on youtube.com this would just take us to the index page, so it would send a request for the index page comes back, and you see it on your browser. Now what's this database thing? Well, basically to access all the videos on youtube.com, what has to happen is there's something called a database which stores all the videos. Now I'm not 100% sure on what database YouTube actually uses, but I know there is the main one is MySQL. So MySQL is just a simple table database, but it can be used for lots of things. So what will happen is if you've requested something that's on the database, then the web server will run all this script which is connecting to the database and taking things and then put it back on the website and then put it back to you. So that's why you have to refresh it when a new video is uploaded, or etc., because it has to be uploaded to the database. So where do we go from here? Well, if you were to make your own server, you'd have to port forward, and I'll make that a whole nother video. But basically there's a script called PHP, which is the main one for websites and handling database operations, and that is pretty much the internet in a quick summary. If you want anything else, any other videos, then make sure to let me know and I'll try to make it for you. But yeah, have a good one.